Okay, so I created this tool under Houdini, Python, and then you're gonna find the Viewport Snapshot.py file. This code is very simple. First, we need to get the scene viewer so we can use the current viewport later. Then it's gonna look for the snapshots directory. There should be a folder called snapshots, and if it doesn't exist yet, then it is gonna create it. Now we're gonna get a timestamp to name our files and folders, and then we're gonna get the image path. This is gonna join the snapshot directory that we either created or found here with snapshot underscore and then the timestamp. So we get the time and the date where it was taken. And then we save it as a .png file. To take the snapshot, we need to create a temporary camera under OBJ. And then we're gonna save the viewport view to it. We need to create a cam parent, which is gonna be OBJ. This means that we're gonna create it under OBJ. Then we're gonna give it a name, and then we actually create the cam node. For this, we're gonna call the cam parent, and under the cam parent, we will create the node. We define what type of node we need, in this case a camera, and then we give it a name. Then we're gonna try to save the viewport to the camera, and if we get any error, we're gonna get this pop-up message showing the error. So in order to render the snapshots, we need to create an OpenGL ROP, and we're gonna create this under out. So here we are defining the out parent. This part is not completely necessary, this is just a check. Just to check if by any reason we don't have out available for us. So we're gonna get a notification here. We can do the same thing to double check if OBJ does exist. Again, this is not mandatory. So now we're gonna create the OGL ROP here by creating it under the out parent. We create the node, now it's gonna be an OpenGL, and we're gonna give it a name, which is gonna be OGL underscore and also the timestamp. Now we're gonna set the parameters for the OpenGL ROP. So if we open Houdini and we go to out, we can create an OpenGL node. So if we check the parameters of this node, we're gonna see that we need a camera and we also need an output. In order to get the name of these parameters, we can just hover over the name, and then we're gonna see the parameter name. In this case, it's camera, and for the output, it's gonna be picture. So we need to define the camera that we're gonna use, and we also need to define the path where we want to render the picture. First, we're gonna call the OGLROP.parm. This is to get into the parameters. And then we're gonna write the parameter that we want to set, in this case camera. Which camera we wanna use? Well, we wanna use the cam node, the one that we set before. Now we do OGLROP.parm, and now we wanna use picture. Which output? Well, the image path. Now it's gonna try to execute. In order to execute it, we need to click in this render button. So same thing, we're gonna hover over the button and we're gonna see that there is a parameter called execute. So we go back and we try to execute it. OGLROP.parm and then execute. Whenever we are working with buttons in Houdini, we always have to call this method called press button. Then, after it was pressed, it's gonna display a message under the Houdini UI saying snapshot saved at, and then we're gonna get the image path, which is useful because if you remember, we are either looking for it in case it already exists or creating it. So maybe if this is the first time you're using this tool, you might not know where this is gonna be saved, but this is gonna tell you where to look at. And if there is any error, we're gonna get a message as well. So after we took the snapshot, we saved it in the proper folder, then we need to clean up. To delete the temporary camera and the OpenGL ROP node, we're gonna try call the nodes.destroy. Same thing for both. And also if there is any kind of error or exception, we're gonna get a display message here. Now, we need to see this button in Houdini. For this, we're gonna go to shelves, and I added this button in tools data. So now we have the node renamer button that we created in the last video, and we have also the viewport snapshot here. For this, I gave it also a name, label. We're calling the script. Here is the function that we're running. And then we give it an icon. This quick snapshot icon, we're gonna find it under icons and give it the same name. Okay, so now we're gonna test this code and make sure that it is actually working. So I have my scene open here, and I'm gonna go to the MRA shelf as well. And now I'm gonna see this new Viewport Snapshot button. So now we can just move it a little bit and give it a test to the button. I open here my Finder folder on the side so we can see if we are actually creating the snapshot folder for it and creating the files within. So let's click on the button, and okay, as you can see it says snapshot saved at, and it's gonna give me the path. I click OK, and as you can see here we got this folder called snapshots, and if you click on it you're gonna see this snapshot that I just took. So let's take another one. There you go, we got the pop-up message as well, and we got a new file here. And as you can see, they are named differently because they were taken at different times. Let's try it one last time. Okay, and now we have all three snapshots here. I think this is a very simple and useful tool, so you can take snapshots of the viewport and save them automatically. For the next video, we're gonna develop a snapshot viewer. So this tool is going to be built with PySide 2, and it's going to help us to actually view this folder within Houdini, so we don't have to go out and look into Finder, go like follow the path and try to find our files. We're just going to click here and get a UI that it's going to read the path, find the snapshots, and show them for us. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.